They carried about 21 major deception operations across France, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Germany. June 6, 1944. While 150,000 Allied soldiers stormed Normandy beaches, Hitler's Panzer division sat frozen 200 miles away, while waiting for a phantom army that didn't exist. German pilots had photographed proof an entire American armored division, 30,000 men, 600 tanks, enough firepower to level Berlin. But when Private Bob Tompkins stepped onto a Sherman's tank hull, it bounced like a trampoline because this $100,000 death machine was made up of $85 worth of rubber and hot air. Meet the 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, 1,100 men who waged the most audacious psychological warfare in human history. They were artists, armed with inflatable armies, magicians with military clearance, Disney animators turned Wehrmacht destroyers. Their job? Make Hitler best spies believe in ghosts. And they were so good at it, they fooled the Führer himself 21 separate times. These weren't just decoy tanks. This was a military theater on an industrial scale, complete with sound effects so realistic. German commanders would move entire divisions based on recordings of fake engine noises. Each sonic deception truck weighed 8 tons and could simulate the entire armored battalion from 15 miles away. The German called it the Ghost Army. January 1943. While most soldiers trained with rifles, Colonel Harry Reeder was recruiting for art school. He didn't want marksmen. He wanted Michelangelos, fashion designers who could fool field marshals, Hollywood set builders who could construct fake armies faster than Germany could photograph them. The result was the most educated combat unit in American military history. Average IQ, 119. College graduates, 80%. Artists who could paint you a Picasso or paint an entire Panzer division out of existence. Their secret weapon wasn't courage, it was creativity. Each inflatable tank just took 30 minutes to deploy, but could fool aerial reconnaissance for weeks. The attention to detail was obsessive. They painted out rust stains, added fake battle damage, even scattered realistic-looking spent shell casings around their rubber war machines. German photo analysts studying these images through magnifying glasses never suspected that they were examining Hollywood props inflated with bicycle pumps. But the visual deceptions were child's play compared to what 3132 Signal Service unleashed on German ears. These weren't just speakers, they were sonic weapons of mass deception. 500 pounds of audio equipment that could make one man sound like 1,000. The recordings were terrifyingly perfect. Real M4 Sherman engines, actual radio clatter between tank commanders, the metallic screech of tank treads on cobblestone. German listening posts would detect what sounded like an entire armored division moving through the night, engines revving, commanders shouting orders, the unmistakable sound of American steel heading their way. Within hours, Wehrmacht intelligence would redeploy thousands of troops to counter that threat that existed only in carefully orchestrated sound waves. The operators worked like DJ of death, mixing engine sounds, radio clatter, and troop movements. When they cranked their systems to full power, the sound was so intense it could shatter windows 3 miles away. March 1944. The Ghost Army's greatest performance was about to begin. Operation Quicksilver, the lad that would determine the fate of Western civilization. They created an entire phantom army group in southeast England, the first United States Army group, FUSAG. On paper, 150,000 men, in reality, 1,100 artists with an unlimited budget for rubber. To German aerial reconnaissance, it was undeniable proof. The Allies were massing their largest invasion force in history, aimed directly at Calais. Hitler was convinced. He positioned his strongest Panzer division at Pas de Calais, waiting for an invasion force made up of hot air and Hollywood magic. The deception was staggering in scope. Fake supply depots stretching for miles, inflatable landing craft bobbing in harbors, even rubber fuel trucks that appeared to be delivering thousands of gallons of gasoline. The radio deception alone required 300 operators broadcasting false communications 24 hours a day. German intelligence intercepted thousands of fake messages about troop movements, supply requisitions, even complaints about bad food. June 6, 1944. While 150,000 real Allied soldiers stormed Normandy, Hitler's best divisions sat paralyzed at Calais, waiting for rubber tanks that would never come. The Ghost Army had orchestrated the greatest magic trick in military history. They made an entire army disappear, while another one materialized 200 miles away. But this wasn't theater class. The Ghost Army operated in what they called the Red Zone, within artillery range of German guns, sometimes just 3 miles from enemy positions. One mistake, one poorly positioned inflatable tank, one radio operator breaking character could expose the entire operation and get thousands of real soldiers killed. They had to maintain perfect illusions while dodging real bullets. Artists turned warriors, sketching by day and inflating phantom armies by moonlight. The average age was 22. Fashion students from Manhattan, commercial artists from Detroit, Disney animators from Hollywood, all now living in foxholes, armed with creativity instead of rifles. Private Arthur Shilstone kept detailed sketches throughout the war. His drawings showed rubber tanks being inflated while real Sherman tanks burned in the distance. Surreal scenes where fantasy and horror collided daily. They carried about 21 major deception operations across France, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Germany. Never broke cover, never lost a man to their own deception, never stopped believing in the power of perfect lie. May 8, 1945. Victory in Europe. The Ghost Army had helped win the greatest war in human history. Their reward? Complete erasure from history. Classified, top secret, uncompartmentalized.